Good morning, assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you. What I want to talk about today are 5 hard truths that you need to hear if you're on a healing journey. The tape is freaking loud. Anyways, these 5 truths are actually from my book, How Long Will You Run, which my second book, which I'm gonna launch very soon. And I was reading through the manuscript this morning and I was like, oh my God, like I need to talk about this, because these are things that the reason I shared them in the book as well was because these are 5 truths that nobody told me when I started my healing journey. It was like I learned these the hard way. And I feel like a lot of times on your healing journey, there's so many things that you don't know about, so many aspects of it that really take you by surprise and leave you feeling like, oh my God, what? Like this happens? And then you look it up and then you're just like, wait a minute, I'm not alone in feeling this way. So I want to give you this heads up, because if you're healing, it's not easy. It's not easy to take all that pain and do something incredible with it. It's not easy to take that unworthiness you have in your heart and finally decide one day that, you know what, I'm gonna do the shadow work, I'm gonna do the breath work, I'm gonna do the coaching, and I'm gonna finally feel the worthiness that I deserve to feel. And you know what happens after that? Well, these 5 things usually happen, and they're sort of like this navigating compass for when you're going on this journey. They're there to remind you of what is normal and what is appropriate, and almost like give you like a an indicator of how you can assess whether what you're doing, what the decision you're making is right or wrong. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that the world is a mirror for us, okay? And this is, the reason this is number 1 is because this is one of my favorite things to talk about. If you've been on my channel before, you know I talk about this a lot because it's so freaking true. And I feel like more people need to learn this. More people need to recognize this, because if you just, if you just understand this one truth, the world is your mirror, it will give you so many insights into what you need to heal, where you need to let go, what you need to integrate, where you may be holding back. Like, just by looking at the external, it can give you all the information about your internal. So what does it mean that the world is a mirror for us? Okay, what it means is that how other people treat you, okay, this is really important. How other people treat you is a direct reflection of how you are treating yourself. The fool? So, for example, if you abandon yourself, okay, if you're constantly abandoning yourself for other people to make someone happy, for people pleasing, for whatever reasons, what's going to happen is other people are going to abandon you. So if you're someone who keeps getting abandoned by people, it's not the people that are the problem. You need to ask yourself, where in my life am I abandoning myself? Who am I doing it for? What purpose is that abandonment serving? Everything that happens in the outside world is there to reflect to you, to show you that, hey, dude, if you want this to change, there's something internally happening that you need to change, you need to do differently. If, for example, there is scarcity in your life, okay, in your external reality, then where in your feelings, where in your beliefs do you believe that you're scarce? Like, if you think that, just by thinking like, I'm abundant, or looking in a mirror and say, I'm abundant, it's gonna change your abundance reality, but you don't really feel abundant in your heart. You don't feel an abundance of love, of life, of energy, of just generally looking at everything and feeling like, oh my God, I am so freaking rich. Then it's not a surprising thing that your outside world is telling you you're not abundant. Your outside world is like this information giving machine, Look at how are the people treating you? What are the experiences that you keep repeating? What is going on? What is the general theme of your life? I just cracked my knuckles while I was pointing so hard. Now I want to crack all of them. But anyways, the world is a mirror for us. So you want to, instead of getting mad at the world, instead of getting mad at why does this keep happening to me? You need to go back into your own history and be like, okay, well, where is this experience coming from? Because remember, you are attracting every experience that comes to you. You are always manifesting everything in your life. You have manifested it. So when we talk about manifestation as well, I don't know why I made that face, but when we talk about manifestation as well, most people think that I need to learn the skill of like manifesting. Babe, you're already a master manifester, okay? There's nothing you need to like go out there and learn, or like, you know, a skill that you need to master or whatever. You're a master manifester. It's just about using that ability that you have with more consciousness, which is why we have all these different ways of manifesting. They're really just permission slips. They're really just there to change your, baseline frequency, your baseline normal, so that you can be a magnet for a higher reality. So anyways, that to conclude, the world is a mirror for you. So if you don't like what's outside, heal what's inside. Look at what is going on inside. If people treat you like shit, are you treating yourself well? If you feel like people don't love you, or you're not able to feel the love that they have for you, do you love yourself? It's all a freaking mirror for you, okay? Number 2, people owe you nothing. Now, this is one of the hardest truths that I had to realize, because I used to think that's so rude. What do you mean people owe me nothing? Like, what do you mean like people owe me nothing? Like, they owe me this, they owe me that, they owe me this, that, they owe me kindness, they owe me respect, they owe me love, blah, blah, blah. But it's not true. Nobody owes you anything. And this might actually sound harsh, because it did to me at first, until I realized that it is actually so liberating. It is actually so sweet, because it's the essence of unconditional love. That means that if every single person in my life owes me nothing, then whatever they are doing for me is not because they owe it to me. It's not because there's this like obligation on them, but because they would like to do it. They want to do it. And that is liberating, not just because of that, but also because it's like once you realize that people don't owe you anything, you realize that you don't owe anyone anything either. You're people too. So anything you're doing for someone is not because you feel obligated to do it, but rather because you just love them that much. You just like to do those things for them. And, excuse me. And this opens another portal where you realize that if people don't owe me anything, then I get to choose where I stay and when I leave. Because a lot of times what happens is that we put all these expectations on people. We're like, oh no, I want this from you, and I want that from you, and I want this. No. You need to give yourself all of those things. And for the people in your life, as you start to treat yourself better, firstly, goes back to point 1, everyone else will treat you better too. Like, I swear to God, you want to write this down, and you want to imprint it in your mind. When you treat you better, the world treats you better. When you treat yourself like crap, the world treats you like crap. Everything is always just reinforcing how you feel and what you believe about yourself, okay? So when we say people don't owe you anything, it's that you realize that, you don't get to, you no longer get upset when someone doesn't do something for you. You no longer have these expectations from people. You trade it all for appreciation, and you appreciate every single thing anyone does for you, because you know that this person doesn't owe it to me, but how sweet that they're doing it for me. More importantly, you realize, like, for example, if someone disrespects your boundaries, right? You realize, okay, instead of like getting mad and like worked up about it, you're just like, you know what? Okay, fine. This person doesn't owe me anything. That means I don't owe him anything. If they cannot respect my boundaries, if they cannot be a good human being to me, which is my boundary for myself. This is what I owe to myself. It's not what they owe to me, but I owe it to myself to have people in my life that match these boundaries, right? Match these values. And if this person can't do that, then it's okay for me to let them go, because I don't owe it to them to keep letting them treat me like shit. I don't owe it to them to be a freaking people pleaser. I don't owe nothing. But the things that I do for people, the kindness that I do have, the love that I do share, it's just because of who I am, not because of who they are. When you embody the truth that people don't owe me anything, then it's no longer about how the other person's treating you. It's about what is the standard I have for myself? Who am I in my core? Who am I committed to being? What values am I committed to living by? And no matter what anyone else is doing, I'm going to stand on business. I'm going to live by my values. Because that's the best thing you can do for yourself. It's that you don't lower your standard or higher your standard just because of like whoever is changing in front of you. You stay who you are, and you realize that, you know, someone can treat me like shit and someone can treat me amazing, and that's on free will. Okay, so I get to decide. I am the decider. I get to decide. It's like Nick from New Girl, but I get to decide what I allow and what I don't allow. Okay, which is, by the way, it's about transaction versus being unconditional. A transaction is, oh, I'll treat you nice because I want something from you. Unconditional is, I'm just treating you nicely because that's who I am and I would love to do that and I love to be this person. So recognize that difference. Relationships are not transactions. Relationships are not the places we go to get something. It's the place where we go to give something. It's the place where you want to go and you want to share your love and your kindness and everything you have to offer. And when you're not celebrated and when you don't feel like you're respected and valued, you're just like, okay, no worries. You're not leaving because they didn't complete the transaction. You're just leaving because they didn't meet the standard you've set for your life. And that's okay because they don't owe you anything. So you don't resent people because of that. You know, you don't hate them. You don't think that, you don't write them off. You're just like, you know what? They're just not there yet. You just realize, man, you know what? You're on your journey. Khalas. You do you, okay? And you don't get worked up about it. Number 3, it is not your job to fix anyone or make them happy. You're not Bob the Builder, okay? A lot of times what happens with people when they start their healing journey, they start to feel like this responsibility. They start to feel like, oh, like I gotta fix this person and I gotta help this person, and oh, like, you know, if they're struggling, then I have to be the one, I have to be the freaking savior, the Jesus in their life. No, you don't. It is not your job. Can we share the things we learn with the people in our lives? Of course we can. Can we shine a light for them to walk their cave? Yes. But can you and I walk someone's cave for them? No. I cannot walk anyone's journey for them, no matter how much I would love to. No matter how much I would want to absolve them of their pain. I can't do it. It's not my responsibility. And it's not yours either. We gotta realize that, like, everyone has their own journey. And just like your pain made you who you are, it brought you where you are, their pain is gonna take them where they are as well. Their pain might be, you know, it might be so hard for you to watch them in pain. You might want to silence your truth so that you don't hurt their feelings. But the truth is that you don't, that's a disservice to you. You have to realize that you're not Bob the Builder. You're not here to fix anyone. You can help people, you can support them, but you can't fix them, and you don't need to either. Because so many times we develop this, false sense of like holier than thou attitude. It's like, oh, because I'm healing, I might be better than you, so I need to help like fix you or whatever, and like you need to like, you need to get on this meditation shit because you're obviously so fucking traumatized, and then you get so obsessed over it that you start to like resent people when they don't heal. But realize that you took your sweet time in your journey as well. But you arrived when you were meant to arrive. So they're gonna arrive when they're meant to arrive. So you can share what you learn with people. They might grow with you. They might tag along. They might be like, yeah, okay, I want to be better, but they might also not. You have to realize this. There will be people in your life that will fall out. It is so hard, but they will. You will lose some of your closest friends, and this is going to be one of the hardest parts of your healing journey. Because when you heal, when you grow, your vibration changes, your frequency changes, and you start to become this, You start to shine a light on people's triggers. You shine a light on their insecurities. You shine a light on their shadows because of the work you're doing in your own life. And they won't like it. So they might be like, okay, well, they might write you off. They might tell you that, like they might say mean things to you. They might walk out of your life, and you have to be okay with that because you can't fix them. You cannot be the savior for everybody, and you don't have to make them happy either. A lot of times, especially if you're a people pleaser, you feel like this, and by the way, this comes from this false belief that they have something that I need to feel safe. So then I need to make them happy at all times. No, you don't. They don't have anything that can make you feel safe. You're the only one who can make you feel safe. People can temporarily, actually, and it's true, temporarily they can make you feel safe, but it's not a permanent thing, and it's not like a genuine safety. It's just that you attach all your, freaking sense of safety to them, and it's like, I need to please this person, I need to make them happy, I need to you just cannot stand someone suffering. But you have to realize that our job, even whether you're a coach or you're just someone who's on their own healing journey, you got to realize that our job isn't to fix or make people happy. Our job is to love them through their evolution. It's not to judge them, but also recognize that if that relationship isn't serving you, and if you feel like, being around them isn't serving you, then you got to walk away, because that brings us to point number 4. You have to have the courage to be disliked. And that's one of the hardest parts for some of us. Especially when we grow up being told that you need to make everybody happy all the time. You need to be well liked. Well liked is a trait that is so celebrated, right? Oh, you're such a well liked person. I'm such a well liked person, blah, blah. But a lot of times what happens is that in the effort to be well liked, you dull down your authenticity. You become someone completely inauthentic to who you are, just so that that person can be liked by everybody, and so you can feel safe. But it comes from, again, this false belief that you need their approval, because when you were a child, you might have been rejected for your authenticity. So you learn, oh my God, I need to hide this. If I want my adults to like me, if I want people to approve of me, I need to not be who I am. And then you carry it in your adulthood, and you got stuck in survival all these years, and you start thinking that, in order for me to feel safe, in order for me to breathe, I need everybody to like me. There's some people who cannot stand. I used to be those people. I used to be that person. I couldn't stand someone not liking me, so I would bend like spaghetti for other people. But when you begin to heal, you got to realize that if you keep doing that, if you keep abandoning yourself and bending like spaghetti every time for another person, you silence your own truth, you dull down your own voice and your shine and your sparkle, because you don't want to be too much. People will always have a bone to pick with you, by the way. They will tell you you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too nice, you're too mean, you're too loud, you're too quiet, you're too soft-spoken, you're too outspoken, opinionated, you don't have any opinions, you're this, you're that. They will always tell you that there's something wrong with you, something wrong with the decisions you're making, something wrong with whatever. And if you, every time someone says something to you, you flinch and you're like, oh my God, okay, how do I be better, blah, blah, then you will never, ever give your authentic gift, which is who you are, the chance to shine. You'll always be molding, you're not water, okay? You're not freaking water that takes shape of whatever container it's in. You're a person with personality. And if you don't know yourself, if you don't know who you are, if you don't love who you are, if you don't know how to stand in business as who you are, then you'll always be looking to conform to other people. But rule number 4, you gotta have the courage to be disliked. Be okay with, if someone likes you, great. If they don't, great. That's their opinion. Free will, honey. If I take this pair of glasses and I go you're an ugly pair of glasses, does that change the glasses at all? Does that do anything to them? No. But if I go oh my God, you're the best glasses in the whole world, Did that change the glasses? No. No matter what I say to these glasses, they're gonna be exactly how they are. So be like the glasses. Be the sunglasses that don't change just because someone says something nice or mean to them. They're just themselves. They stand on business. They're like, you know what? I am how I am. If I don't fit your face, that's your problem, not mine. So it's like if you know, and I don't mean to be this way in like an arrogant kind of way that, oh yeah, like I am who I am, like take it or leave it or whatever, but more like I know what I value. I know what my boundaries are. I know what my authenticity is. Like I'm not going to let you violate my boundaries just because that makes you feel more comfortable. If I am a certain way and it's not harming anyone, it's just my authentic expression of self, which is true to you, not a trauma response, then you celebrate that. And you're okay with, like, you know, if you don't like me, you don't like me. Because people are not, there are going to be people who won't like you. They won't like that you're so, you know, you're so full of life. They're gonna be like, what are you so happy about? They're gonna be like, why are you so loud? They're gonna be like, oh, you know, like what? Why are you so optimistic? Are you delusional? They're gonna say crap to you. That's okay. That's not a reflection of you. That's a reflection of them. It's a reflection of what is going on in their inner world. Anytime someone says something mean to you, it's not because of who you are, obviously. Someone who is healed will never say something mean to anyone. So just like you're on your journey, recognize that, khalas, like that's their journey. Like, you know, wish them well. And finally, number 5, what advice would you give your kid? This is the most important one. It's that, like, you know, every time you're confused about a decision you're making, ask yourself, if my kid was in this exact situation, what would I say to them? What would I tell them? What advice would I give them? If my kid was dating the partner that I'm dating, would I want my kid to be dating this person who's like a walking, talking, fucking red flag? Probably not. If my kid is friends with people who tell them to dull their sparkle, would I want them to be friends with these people? No. If my kid had, you know, a boss that was really mean to them, would I want my kid working in that company? No. If my kid felt like they had to change themselves to you know, like make other people feel better, would I feel good about the fact that my kid is out there people pleasing because they don't feel confident and they don't feel worthy? Absolutely freaking not. So ask yourself in these moments, what advice would I give to my kid? That is your navigating compass. Because if you wouldn't want your kid in that situation, if you wouldn't want that situation for your kid, if you wouldn't want that experience for your kid, don't give it to yourself. This human being, this body, like this is a person that was given to you at the beginning of your life. This person was like, you know, trusted. You were trusted with this human being. And you're out there, you know, being so mean to this person. You're out there, you know, violating this person's needs. You're out there constantly telling this human being you were gifted with, hey, you're not enough. Hey, no, that other person is more important than you. No, you need to comply to them because your opinion doesn't matter. That's not fair. You wouldn't let your kid live that way. Why would you let yourself live that way? Because it all comes down to the fact that you realize that at the end of the day, you are raising you. How do you want to raise yourself? What values do you want to raise yourself with? What do you want to believe about what's right or wrong? Who you really are? How you deserve to live? Because, hey, we get one shot at this life. Eminem said that. One shot, you know, but we get this one shot, we get this one life, we get this one magical moment. And do we really deserve to dull that experience down for ourselves? Don't you think we deserve to live as the greatest expression of ourselves? To live with our hearts cracked wide freaking open, to live and to be in awe in every moment, just in awe of the fact that imagine you're on a floating freaking rock. Like imagine if today was your first day on earth. What would you, and you'd never seen cars or planes or, phones, and you never knew what internet was, and you can come from like a stone age something, and you look at everything, and you've never seen plants, and you've never seen trees, and you've never seen, let's say, the sky, because you're maybe from Jupiter. I don't know, man, maybe Jupiter doesn't have a sky. Don't freaking think that. I thought that was me projecting. But what if you were seeing all of this for the first time? Wouldn't you be in awe of what a miracle life is? The miracle of literally every single thing, of the way that nature's beauty is, the way that the sky changes colors throughout the day, the way that there's birds in the sky that literally fly when we need planes to fly, and that we can fly with planes. There's ships, the water, it's gorgeous, the sea. Like, there's so many things in the world to be in awe of, yet most of us, we just get so stuck with our past, and we get so stuck in our pain and our trauma that, we don't live beyond it. We just spend our whole lives in our head thinking about the stories, and we never bring ourselves to the present moment. Which is, if I were to add one more thing, it would be live in the moment. Look at the moment in front of you. Recognize the fact that the chances of you being born are 1 in 4 trillion. 1 in 4 trillion. Isn't it magical? Isn't it a freaking miracle that all these people in your, what's it called? Jeez. Like the frick? Your older generation, like all the generations before you, your ancestors, all of them had to meet and reproduce exactly how they did for you to be born. From the time that, Adam alayhi salam came into existence, every single thing in history had to happen exactly how it happened for you to be experiencing this moment in time. And you're gonna dull down yourself. You're not gonna live your life to the absolute fullest. You're gonna tell yourself you're not worthy, you're not good enough, when so many miracles happened to bring you to this moment. And you're gonna think that it's anything short of magic. You don't deserve that. You deserve to live as the miracle that you are. To see yourself, to recognize, oh my God, I am worthy. Because look at that. Look at all the way from the first human being. Life happened so perfectly to bring me into existence. Like, God looked at the earth and said, yeah, it needs one of you. Isn't that magical? Doesn't that account for something? So when you're going out there and you're healing and you're doing the work, you gotta live and honor the miracle that you are. And not in an egoistic, arrogant way, but with your whole heart. Where when you meet people who just haven't woken up to the truth that they are an absolute miracle in the world, and they're hurting and they're bleeding on other people, you have compassion for even that. You look at it and you're like, it's not my job to fix you or heal you or whatever, but I can wish you so well because, I hope you heal. I pray you heal. You have nothing but love for them. You just live in love with every single thing. Because, hey, this one moment, you're not going to get it twice. And I think if there's one thing I've learned, it's that every moment is so, so magical, even the ones that might seem mundane. If you look at it with the lens of awe, where you're just like, isn't it crazy that there's like a fan on top of me? Isn't it crazy? Like, I can pick up my phone and be connected to someone halfway across the world in a second. Isn't it crazy that I can do, there's so much to be in awe of. But we fall asleep to this miracle. So yeah, today I guess I really wanted to touch base on that I pray that you wake up to the miracle that life is, the miracle that you are, and I pray that you live with these 5 hard truths, even if they're hard to live by sometimes, because you deserve it. Okay. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.